Hello YouTube, it's William. Welcome to another Whittle Talk. Had a subscriber ask a question last night and I couldn't respond to him because of his settings on YouTube would not allow me to respond to his question. So I thought maybe I'd do a video because I've been thinking along these lines for quite a while now, and I don't know of anybody who's addressed this or mentioned this or discussed this or anything like that on YouTube. But I want to talk about the benefits and the pros and cons basically of tool weight. Okay. And his question was, did I think that Nesbitt preferred the double bit hatchet to a large knife because of his size? I have no idea. I mean, I don't know why people like what they like, but I do know that a lot of that plays into their what they like to do. But I will say this: tool weight is a benefit, and it's also a restriction. I mean, if you were going to hike the Appalachian Trail, you wouldn't want to take a felling axe with you. I mean, you know, just common sense things like that. Would you want to take a large knife with you? I don't know that you'd need to. So, well, you're going to need a knife to baton and things like that. Well, you can baton with a folding knife. You just have to use a little common sense. You have to be selective in your wood. You have to use proper technique. A lot of these things that's not discussed in a lot of these videos. But if you use a proper technique, choose the right wood. Use something with straight grain, not a lot of knots, that's reasonably sized, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, you know, stuff like this, then all knives will baton. You're trying to drive a piece of steel into some wood. I mean, yeah, it's going to baton. And it will split. And it won't break if you use proper technique. Even Moors. If you don't overuse the knife, then it'll be fine. But with that said, tool weight does play a huge part in all of this. For instance, if you were wanting to do, let's say, something benign as feather sticks, have a little 1/8 inch neck knife, has a distal taper, so it tapers down to a very thin blade. Now, when you're doing feathers, you're using muscle power to do these feathers. Down my shirt and everywhere else. So basically, you're using muscle power. There isn't much weight there. Let me move the camera down. There isn't any weight, so all you're doing is you're forcing the blade to do what you want it to do. Now, let's say if you moved up to a heavier knife, a 5/32 knife, then you're allowing the weight. It's a lot less effort because the weight of the knife is actually assisting you in doing the feathers. Okay? Now, all of this has to be in account. You have to consider the grind and everything else, because it has to have a proper grind on the blade in order for it to cut, period. Alright? There's a lot of knives, and I've been through this many times, that the apex is too thick. It won't allow you to do feathers very well because of the angle of the knife and all this other stuff. And so if you go back to my videos, you'll see a video on apexes and my thoughts or something like that. But if the grind is proper, then basically it is between your muscle power and the weight of the blade. Now you could go up to a 3/16 blade, okay? And it's even less effort. I mean, it's just effortless doing feathers with it. But again, you have to deal with the weight of the blade if you're packing it in or carrying it. So that's a trade-off. All things are trade-offs. Now, if you want to get even easier than that, less muscle power, then get you a hatchet. And it is just as simple as letting the axe basically fall. The only thing that you're doing is you're just picking up the axe. You're just lifting it up, but the weight of the little hatchet is actually doing the feathers. I was in construction for many years, and there was this littlest guy on one of my job sites. Little bitty guy. He was probably, I don't know, 5'6", 5'7", weighed maybe 100 pounds soaking wet. But he always carried the heaviest sledge he could find. One day I asked him, I said, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "Because it's easier." And if you'd watch him work, he wouldn't, the only thing that he would do was pick up the sledge and he would swing it in an arcing motion. And the weight of the sledge would do the work. He wouldn't be doing any work at all. It was just he was guiding the hammer is all he was doing. So he was letting the weight of the tool benefit him and assist him in doing his job. We could do that, apply that same philosophy into our thing, the woodscraft, if you want to call it bushcraft, whatever you want to call it, campcraft. But let the tool be an advantage to you, the weight of the tool, because you can do a lot more with this than you can with this. The smaller the tool, the less advantage you have. The larger the tool, the better advantage you have on many, 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 many things. Would you rather chop with this or chop with this? Would you rather process wood with this or with this? I said, well, hatchets are more dangerous. No, the user is more dangerous. Tool is benign. It's just like guns are more dangerous. Guns ain't dangerous at all. It's the person that's got it, okay? You got to learn to use the tool. So I hope this makes sense and it helps you and get you to thinking about your tool selections. Now again, if you're going to be a long trail, Appalachian Trail type backpacker, then this is probably all you need. Maybe even something lighter. A little folding SAK would probably be all you need if you knew how to use it. So, but anyway, until the next one, you guys be safe and get out in the woods. Practice these things. Get you a hatchet if you don't have one. Try it. Use that larger knife. Use the smaller knife. Learn to use all your tools, because you never know. You may be in a situation at some point that that's all you have. You have to borrow somebody's because you lost yours or misused yours and broke it. So, if you do, get out there in the great outdoors and whittle on a stick. Be sure and take plenty of Band-Aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again soon.